Hello ladies and gentlemen, it is me, Mr. Curl365 here, you're back again for another episode of Robot Wars, review, should I say, and holy shit, talk about dramatic, especially when it came to Chompalot, ladies and gentlemen, but at the end of the episode, Pulsar reigned supreme, although in my opinion, I wouldn't call them worthy winners, mainly because, well, basically, whilst I was watching the episode, I was tweeting back and forth between my good friend T.Y. Marshall, and he said that it should have been Thermidor 2 versus Pulsar to see who would get Chompalot's spot, which I agreed with. So, in my opinion, that was a bad call from the judges. I don't think it was totally fair on Thermidor's part, despite the fact that Thermidor did more in the opening round of in the first fight. So, in my opinion, I think they should have had like a quick one-on-one battle instead of like reviewing the footage from the first fight. That way, it could have been a case of plenty of fights and less talk. Which sadly wasn't the case, but I'm gonna go through the competitors one by one like I did last week. Chompalot, I would have to say, despite the way they crashed out of the competition, I would say it's the most improved robot when it comes to the experienced competitors in this competition. Because if you watch the old show, they didn't do too well altogether. I mean, it was a same machine, but it didn't fare too well in the competition. But this time around, did quite well. Didn't break down. I think they're a little bit more powerful. If they had a little bit more pushing power, then I think they would have won their match against Gabriel if they did activate the pit. But sadly, unfortunately for them, they took a lot of damage in the opening round from Ironside 3. And then the spare teams got together to repair it, although not enough repairs were done to it. And then Gabriel came along and destroyed it. A lot of smoke came out, and then it combusted, and they were forced to retire, which, if you saw Deb's, cry, which was a little bit heartbreaking for me, because, you don't, even though it's about destroying robots, you gotta think about the fact that, these people have put a lot of hard work and effort into these machines, and, the worst they want is like a couple of scratches and like a broken part, but not to the point where the robot's all crumpled, it's on fire. So commiserations to Chompalot. I think they did very well. I think they should be worthy of another shot in the new series. Speaking of Gabriel, very unique design, similar to Stinger from the old show. Just whether the question whether they would have the same success as Stinger in terms of making it to the grand final like Stinger did back in Series 4, but sadly that was not the case. Although I do like the design. I thought when I first saw Gabriel, I thought they got big exposed tires, this is going to be an early night for them, but due to the way that it's made, it took quite a beating and still managed to keep on ticking. So a very unique design. So if they do the old category awards for this series, I would have to say that Gabriel is in with a chance of winning the best design award. Ironside 3, for me, I thought was gonna go out in the opening round due to the fact that it was untested, but it proved quite to be a powerful robot, indeed, with its spinning hammer, and I thought, like I said before, it would conk out in the early opening, but it didn't. It stuck in there, took the fight to most of the competitors. So A worthy robot indeed, Ironside 3, and I hope they do make a return to the series. But I can't say the same for Thermidor 2, which I thought, they would like make it to the final since they are experienced. I mean, when you watch the old show, them in the old show, you will see, they were quite powerful. Yeah, they had their fair share of losses, but, when you watch them in, I think it was All-Star, no wait, was it Extreme 2 or All-Star? I'm not too sure. But yes, Extreme 2, they were, quite formidable. But then later on, they started having technical difficulties, and this was the case here. They took a little bit too much damage than they would have hoped for, and they were eliminated, which is quite a shame because it's quite a good robot, quite a powerful flipper. I like the claw and the flipper mechanics. Grab them and then flip them. But unfortunately, they didn't quite make it. So, like I said before, I think they deserved a shot, another shot, as well as Pulsar. Have those two go 1-on-1. I'm probably guessing Pulsar would have won if those two did go 1-on-1 to have Chompalot's spot. Mainly, like I said, Thermidor did take quite a beating from Shunt and Ironside, and it was pretty much it for Thermidor. So if Pulsar and Thermidor did go 1-on-1, then Pulsar will probably win it in my opinion. Next up was Beast, and I have to say I thought this was quite a disappointment. I mean, no disrespect to the team or anything, but when you look at it, it looks proper, but when you consider the fact that they got no armor just to, add more power to the weapon, you gotta consider the fact that, that was like a huge risk that didn't pay off. I mean, when you think about it, they probably just got lucky to go through to the league stages, because it looked like, in my opinion, Infernal Contraption was in line to, have that spot, but unfortunately it drove itself into the pit. Speaking of Infernal Contraption, another improved robot in my opinion. I just thought it was a little bit unlucky, driving itself into the pit, but considering the last appearance in the old show, that it didn't go so well for them, so I would have to say that both Chompalot and Infernal Contraption have improved greatly. Same can't be said for Thermidor. Ironside 3 included in the Infernal Contraption and Chompalot list as well. Crazy Cube 88. I thought it was kind of unique for like one vertical spinner and one horizontal spinner on each end, but I think due to the lack of experience on Crazy Cube 88's side of things, I thought it was bound to get knocked out in the opening stages. So that's all the robots taken care of. In terms of the fight themselves, I think Gabriel. I know the name of the robot is based on the angel Gabriel, but when it comes to Robot Wars, you gotta go in for the kill no matter what. Although they nearly cost themselves the final because Jonathan Pierce was like screaming at them to go in for the kill. Don't worry about it too much, because the point system in the league, which I have mentioned before, is a bit of a pain in the arse, and they should get rid of the league system completely. But there were a fair share of back and forth fights, especially with the final match between Pulsar and Gabriel. I thought Pulsar would have broken down because they've had problems before in previous matches, but they were lucky enough to go through to the final. Gabriel, worthy finalist as well. Just unlucky to not make it. But I think the talking point of this entire episode was Chompalot's exit. I mean, it was probably the most dramatic thing that has happened in the series so far. I mean, it was all, a bit of a laugh when we saw the smoke. But then once the fire started, oh dear, smiles turned to, frowns and tears and holy shit. I mean, for a robot named Gabriel to be, angelic and whatnot, holy shit, it certainly sent Chompalot into hell with the fire and sending Debs into an emotional meltdown. So tut Gabriel, I have to say. Speaking of tut, Killalot, I am quite disappointed in you again. I mean, you had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to pick up a robot and do extra damage, or even put him in the pit, do a little bit of dancing like you used to, but you let them go. Why? I mean, with Ironside 3, you had them up, you could have dragged them to the, dragged them and then pitted them, and then it would have been, good to see, but no, you just picked them up and then you let them go and then they ran away. And the same with Gabriel. I mean, you had the chance to pick Gabriel up, but you didn't. You had a chance to pick Pulsar up when he was, slightly immobilized. You could have picked him up and then hold him, up to the fire, but no. It just pains me so to see Killalot just fuck up time and time and time again. To be honest, if I were, the controllers of Sir Killalot, I would practice until, it was like the old drivers of Sir Killalot were never left in the first place. But, it was just so painful to watch my brother from another mother to fuck up constantly. I mean, we're talking about, the moment where, he drives into the wall and he got stuck. Oh, Jesus, Killalot, you're killing me here. Ugh. But nevertheless, Shun did well, despite him being an alcoholic. I mean, he has had a good showing. Same could be said for Dead Metal when it came to, finishing Beast off. So, good on you, Dead Metal. Matilda, nowhere to be seen. Probably, I don't know, what do female robots do in their spare time, apart from destroying stuff? But I don't know. In any case, a good showing for the House Robots, Dead Metal and Shunt. Killalot had its moments, but it was mostly consistent of fuck-ups, really. So yeah, that's about it for this episode. So next week we have our grand final. So as Angela said at the end of the episode, the runners-up in the final matches in each episode will be given a wild card to enter into the grand final. So it'll be interesting to see who gets it. I mean, there are a lot of worthy finalists like Thor, Behemoth, and countless others. So it'll be interesting to see who gets picked the wild card and if they can use it to an advantage. If you were to ask me who would be the favourite into winning the whole series, I would probably have to say Carbide. I have to go with Carbide. I mean, it is a powerful weapon. I could probably see it, taking out Apollo and TR2. Shockwave could be a little bit tricky. But who knows? It'll be interesting to see Carbide versus Pulsar. but I don't know. I think Pulsar could have like made their weapon a little bit bigger so it can, you know, get a bigger hit ratio. But for me, I am gonna go with Carbide to win. I probably might lose my bet since you know, I'm not good at gambling. But either way, I'm looking forward to the final. And speaking of finals, I'll do a review episode of that. And then after that grand final is over and done with, I'll do yet another video, which will be me, you know, giving my thoughts and opinions on the series in its entirety, and my thoughts on what needs to be changed, what were the good points, what were the bad points, and you know, my theories on what could happen in Series 2, or Series 9, if you want to call it that. If they do decide to give it a new series, which they should do, because it's pretty much the only show worth watching. I mean, who the fuck cares about the Olympics? Anyway, that will be it for this episode. Thank you for listening, me ranting and raving about Robot Wars for nearly 20 minutes or so. But yeah, if you want to check out more videos like this one, hit me up on YouTube and subscribe. It will cost you nothing. It's not going to kill you, and from what I've heard from 4 out of 5 scientists, it will give you a bigger penis. I had to kill the 5th scientist because he didn't agree, so he's now dead. If you want to follow me on social media, all of my links are in the description down below. Big thanks to T.Y. Marshall for having a nice little conversation whilst we were watching our beloved Robot Wars. So feel free to check him out on Twitter as well. And yeah, well done to Pulsar for winning the heat. Although, like I said before, it should have been Pulsar versus Thermidor 2 to see who would get Chompalot's spot, and it was pretty much a bad decision on the judges' part, just to give Pulsar the you know, Chompalot spot. So you know, tut professional Sharky. But like I said, it can't be helped. So hopefully they won't do any more bullshit decisions like that one ever again. But you know, I'm not the judge here. I'm just a loyal viewer of this beloved series. So, like I said before, YouTube, social media, you know where to find me. So until then, I shall see you later. Bye bye.